Hi guys, welcome to this, another Natori video on Sun Tsu's Art of War. Now finally we have got to chapter 2 of 13. This is going to be a long video series, and I'm sure we'll get there. We won't rush it, and we'll get there in the end. But we have finally reached chapter 2 after all that. So what I want to do today is go through the very first point. Now if you want to read more on this, please read my book Iga and Koka Ninja Skills. You can find this on Amazon and all good bookshops, and go to part 2. This is the Iga and Koka Ninjas discussion and annotations on Sun Tsu's Art of War, but it talks very much about this section, so there is more information there. And basically chapter 2 opens with expenses. So it says, when waging war, 1,000 4-horsed attack chariots, 1,000 leather armoured support chariots, 100,000 male troops, the provisions to provide for all of these, going a distance of 1,000 ri, that's 1,000 leagues basically, costs around 1,000 gold coins a day. Basically, expensive. It's like, war is expensive, and this has not changed, and it was not less expensive then. Today when we go to war we spend billions of pounds, and thousands of gold coins back in the old days was that, you know, it was that vast amount of money. It was a ridiculous amount of money. Thousands per day. You're on a campaign for half a year. You're going into hundreds of thousands of gold coins, and when you put that to spending power of the locals, you're talking like vast amounts of money. Now back in the day, the Iga and Koga book talks about this, and they say that in old China there was a system, and if you look at the kanji pretty much for well, it's like a noughts and crosses board, so 9 squares. Yeah, if you think about noughts and crosses, I think in America is it called tic-tac-toe? I'm not sure. But noughts and crosses anyway, where you battle with noughts and crosses in the 9 square. If you imagine a field of 9 squares, it says the central one is given over for taxation, but the other 8 are farmed by farmers. Now what happens here is that 7 of those farmers farm their fields, and the 8th person goes off to war, and the other 7 pay for his equipment. So this is how you tax, and you get all the vast amounts of money it would cost for a force to go on a prolonged campaign. Such a long battle will destroy morale. It will absolutely crucify. Your country will be in uproar. They say in Sun Tsu, I'm sure we'll get to it, but 700,000 people will be affected by 100,000 troops going out. And that's the point I've just said about the land and the divination, the dividing of taxation and things like that. So of course go back to my Iga and Koga book, we might go into that more. But basically, long battle will destroy the weapons that you take with you, so you have to replace them. It will destroy morale. Siege warfare will deplete everything. And the problem with this is not only we have uproar and civil unrest, is that a neighbouring enemy will attack you. That is one of the basics of war. I've been reading the 36 stratagems today and other stuff, and this is one of the principles, is that when you see someone you want to invade depleting because they're at war and it's getting a problem and they're at a prolonged war, attack. You just destroy them, and that's what people are waiting for happen. People always like to kick people when they're down. They never like to kick someone who's up, ready, tough. They just wait and wait and wait, and then psychologically or, you know, physically. So the point of this one, guys, is that war is expensive, and do not go to war unless you can back it financially, and do not think, oh, we'll be finished in a couple of weeks. No, whatever you plan for war or for a campaign, times it by 100. It's going to cost you a fortune. Even nations like, obviously I'm in Britain, but America, they find it a real drain to go to war for such a, you know, a prolonged period of time.